Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Jacob V Weekly. We want to start, just like we start every week, by inviting you to donate to Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. Caddyshack IL on Facebook. Donate now. We are celebrating 666 cats rescued since 2017. Every dime goes straight to saving and treating and adopting out real cats in need. All of my pets are rescued. I've been there. I've seen the operation. It's the real deal. Save a life or 9. Let's start the show. Oh my. Patreon is live. Our Patreon is live, y'all. We launched last week. Now let me describe Patreon for you for the lay person or for someone who maybe isn't quite hip to it yet. Now, it's a paid subscription platform where you're supporting creative people that create things that you like. You're supporting, what is with this light today?
It's really awesome.
You're supporting your favorite creators in whatever it is that they create. And we happen to be you know what it is, dude? It's this screen.
You see, here's what the fuck happened. Spotify
Will you watch it? Will you just listen? Don't come in here. Don't
bitches.
come in here. That's a good point.
Patreon is for us. You want to actually support us? Patreon.
Yeah, that is a great point. That Joe is attempting to make so eloquently is that, the YouTube thing, originally I was thinking we do more stuff on YouTube, just the numbers aren't really there. We have far more viewers on Facebook than we do anywhere else. And here's the thing, there's things that we're releasing already on Patreon that you can't get anywhere else. We're not taking all of our stuff off of Spotify or anywhere else. The podcast is going to stay free. It's going to stay exactly where it is. And the Patreon is just going to be a great way for you to support that show. And in doing so, we want to give you the opportunity to have access to some stuff that wouldn't necessarily belong in the mix on Spotify and whatnot. So we got patreon.com/JacobV. That's our new thing. Go check it out. It's $1 a week. It's $1 a post.
No
ads.
Anything. We can say fucking anything on there.
It's also complete freedom. It's the last frontier before the guy from Scary Pockets figures out that he created a monster and takes it down.
Fucking Wild West.
It's really good. It's really good out there, y'all. Okay. Down to more serious matters, Joe. We are fucking living in hell.
Fucking hell, it sucks.
It's
hot as
so
balls.
Bad. The heat dome has settled over the Midwest. I wasn't even talking about the heat. I'm just talking about the caliber of existence we're in right now. It's not my favorite thing.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Fucking, I went to return my Blockbuster movies the other day. You're not gonna fucking believe this.
Oh no! Or here, right into the microphone, dumbass.
You're not gonna believe this. I think you can finish the story.
You went to return Blockbuster movies recently?
I'm just kidding.
Joe, that's a waste of our time.
I know. Anyway, 30 minutes for Diet Cokes.
Today?
We were in line. No, you were in line for 30 minutes. I walked into felt like the Michael Jackson.
Did you go into a McDonald's today?
I went inside. It was like beat it in there. They were kind of dancing, but also kind of fighting.
It was a dance fight?
It was like, yeah, I was like, I didn't know which side I was on. And they were all mad at each other, and there was a drive-through line that was not long. But everybody was furious.
I'm listening.
And then they got really mad at my order for 5 Diet Cokes. They were like, what?
They did not.
They did. They were like, and then they threw 4 cups at me. In a cup carrier.
Joe, these notes are ruining my lighting. Yes. So I don't even remember this story because it's happened so many times. I waited 30 minutes for 4 Diet Cokes and a large fry. Tried to curbside it because the drive-thru was ridiculous, and I was worried no one was ever going to get to me.
Yeah.
Taco Bell is saying that a huge part of the problem with the wait times people are experiencing at their stores nationwide is part of like DoorDash's fault. I mean, all of these businesses just added delivery and never plan necessarily staff delivery because they're not staffing delivery drivers, but the kitchen volume is just crazy. The Dairy Queen by my house used to always just be dead. It's a fucking Dairy Queen.
Mhm.
And then now it's crazy because they're on Grubhub. And so you can Grubhub Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And they're wrapping around the building. This is my grandfather's hat. I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm not a huge hat guy because of my big fucking head. I was in a Walmart recently, and all the employees were constantly paging for a manager. Like, all of them. I pulled an article here. There's this trend happening where you'll find these locations on social media where all the employees quit, but then somehow the job is so bad and they're so overwhelmed that they quit, but they have time to put it on the sign.
Yeah.
Which is funny. And you'll see them, they'll all, like, sometimes they'll all sit outside and wait for the bus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's Burger King.
Into the microphone. You're
Burger
not paying
King.
attention. This is
I'm
why
sorry.
you need to wear fucking headphones.
No,
Because
I
when you
can
don't wear
hear it.
headphones,
I
you
can
don't
hear
know
it.
what you sound like.
No,
You
I
need
can hear my own voice.
mouth. I know, but I can't hear it.
It sounds fine to me.
I know, but I need it in the microphone.
So,
Jackass.
Burger King, they always sucked. And, they always paid shit. So they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Some local food drama. Bluewood Brewing announced the other day
I love this guy.
that their collaborator, Max Local Eats, would no longer be functioning out of their space after August 3rd. Word on the street was that they were being evicted for a myriad of issues. I don't know. I mean, but there's things I've seen online of people saying that they've witnessed that guy
Mac
in
himself.
there drunk and like starting arguments with other people that
He
work
did.
there.
He fucking screamed at me one time. There's
He
a
screamed
line.
at you? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
there's
I'm
a
glad you
line-
witnessed this. Tell me about it.
There's a line sign. It says, "Stay behind this lot before you order." For no reason at all, because they don't bring food to anybody. They're fucking lazy as fuck. And this fucking psycho walks out of the kitchen, and he like gets in my fucking face in front of my friend I was with, puts me in that position. He's like, if you're gonna stand in front of a fucking line, and this is just wide out in the open. Everybody's having a good time. There's like a classical guitar player there. And he's like, if you're gonna stand in front of this fucking line, you gotta watch out for all the fucking people. I said, dude, you're the first person to walk out here, but this whole time.
Yeah.
He was so pissed off at fucking psycho, and I was like, Jesus. And then I said, I'll have 2 patties with cheese and the Red Hot riblets on them, and the coleslaw. Yeah.
I was telling
The riblet fries as well.
coincidentally, my brother is a bartender there now at Bluewood, and Clay's been on the show. And I told him, listen, let me get up in there. I'll make some burgers, Jesus, whatever you need. I'll be so nice.
That's all we need in there.
So that was already going to be drama. Bluewood announced that they were going to be closed all week to
What's
accommodate
already
the
closed?
transition and that Max wouldn't be around anymore after August 3rd. But then, like yesterday, Max comes out and says, no, we're going to be open. We're open. And so now they're acting like they're going to be open this weekend for carryout, even though Bluewood is closed for service. So I don't think we've heard the last of this one. I wanted to get on the record early. Joe, what did you have for dinner?
I just think really quick though, it's funny. The RFT, which is like the local free newspaper, posts, looks like Max Shit Eats or whatever is quitting Bluewood Brewery. And then literally the next day it goes,
Actually, no.
yeah, it's like, I guess it's not. It's just like, and
Yeah.
you know what's fucking funny is everybody knows. Like, I think everybody who has been to that restaurant knows exactly what the fuck is going on.
You know what's crazy?
That
though?
guy's a crazy
There's
person.
a lot of people. Mac was retweeting a lot of this stuff I saw yesterday. That a lot of people are being ignorant, saying, "Oh, that's so dumb. The beer's not very good. They need Max, otherwise their business is going to suffer." So there seem to be people in both camps, which is so interesting. I mean, how often you get good food drama?
It is, I don't know. It's just one of those things where because everybody's been there, or everybody who has been there. It's so frequent that anybody who's been there knows the fucking story. That's the whole shit. Next up, what do we got?
Yeah, you're doing great.
If you buy a double-decker cookie cake.
Yeah. See, I can't. I'm really upset. Because, look, we can't do that. That's not going to work. Joe, what'd you have for dinner?
I had a burrito with brisket and it was like an egg roll kind of wrap thing. It was a special roll. It was see-through. It was like a see-through wrap.
Like a spring roll?
Yeah, it kind of looked like. Yeah, it was a spring roll.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Where was that from?
Lola's.
Oh.
Yeah, Lola's goodie. And Lola walked out, this fucking bad bitch. She's so fucking cool. She walks out of like the side door with her sunglasses on, her yoga pants, and like clicks her Cadillac thing. And she's like, "How is it, guys? You good?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're good." And she's like, "Good." And then like puts her sunglasses on and like struts off. It was badass. She's cool.
Where was this?
This was at Lola's, and then Lola walked out.
But where is that?
It's over. Okay, it's over.
Man,
yeah, it's over.
I was really feeling the vibe until we started. Now you're killing me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Everything's great. Yeah, I had some cookie cake, as I noted here. Here's the thing. At first, I was embarrassed to order a full size cookie cake. It's actually double cookie cake with icing in the middle, undecorated. I felt like that was embarrassing. But they wouldn't offer the decorations on Instacart. So I think there's this whole underbelly, this whole culture of people just sitting around eating cookie cake. Joe,
I'm listening.
you know you're not, because
I heard the cookie cake thing. That's it's crazy. Yo, cookie
God!
cake. Yo, I'll tell you what, man. You know, there's nothing. I mean, cookie cake. I mean, it gets me fucking high. That sugar.
You want some cookie cake? I have a whole cookie cake upstairs. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, you Instacarted a cookie cake just because you were like, you know, it sounds good.
Please finish your fucking sentences. It's just the two of us down here.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm.
My God. I mean, seriously.
I think this is going. I like it. I think it's going well. We should talk about our mic situation.
Yeah, you should ask our very first patron on Patreon at patreon.com/Jacob V. Matt Riddle. Shout out.
Yeah,
you met him the other day. You'll find out. You'll find out whether or not he likes this pace of the show. I'm sure.
Yo, IRS, Justin can afford Patreon.
Here's the thing.
His name Max?
If I was going to quit anything, you know what I would quit right now is Facebook.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I think I really just need to use it as a platform for the show, and I really need to quit just scrolling it.
I love scrolling it.
When I'm in an otherwise decent mood.
Yeah.
I feel like Facebook is just like a message board where like aging Caucasians scream bloody murder into the void.
They do. It is. Everybody's psycho on that.
They hold you down and they shout directly into your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They hold your jaw open like a lion and they just shout hate into your spirit. It's like a gallery of all of our imperfections.
Anyone without the vaccine should be dead.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they scream that. And then they scream, I don't want the government putting a chip in my brain.
My asshole.
If I came from a monkey, how come there's still monkeys, brother?
Dude, for real. Yo, we need to talk about that, though.
Yeah, put that on the fucking list.
Dude.
We already talked about, it's played out at this point, really. I almost want to skip this next point. I'm tired of talking about the staffing crisis in restaurants. It hasn't gotten any better.
Real podcasters are talking about it now, too, man. Fucking Tim Dillon was talking about it.
We broke it.
We were first to the line and on time.
We broke it.
I gotta scroll all the way through all this restaurant material.
You're scrolling. Because I don't know what we're gonna. Here's the thing.
This point is good right here.
Which one?
we shouldn't have to force people to take jobs. That's my whole shit. I think capitalism should still be technically optional. And I think like that's why I have such a big problem with people who don't like the homeless in like LA and shit. And I'm like, dude, you found a place with good weather. Like, you can't really force, because if you really think about it, you're like forcing people to like participate in something that they like. That's really is a choice. Like, it's hardcore should be a choice. Like you shouldn't be able to live super comfortably, but it should still be a fucking choice, because capitalism isn't set up for, it's set up for a very particular type of person. They like pretty people who, you know, they don't fucking like, you know, guys with beards, you know, tattoos.
I'm doing
They
fine.
don't like, yeah, you know.
I'm a homeowner. I'm a homeowner.
That was good.
I'm a homeowner.
Homeowner.
I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. The system needs me. They need me.
Anti-CRT.
They need me
parents.
out there. No, I don't think we should have to force people to take jobs. And I clicked, Joe, can you figure out if there's dark mode on Google Docs, brother?
I was just looking it up. There is none. The only thing I found was an add-on. It's really weird. The only thing I found was like some person created.
So can you do me a favor and go back to shutting the fuck up while you are no help and I can just fucking do more of this shit on my own?
Okay. Listen, you can do your recycling by yourself.
Will you come do the add-on?
No, I can't. No. Do not download that. It's clearly a scam.
What?
Don't do it. It looks sketchy. Why? It's not messing up your. How are we doing it
because
before?
it has to go way over here. This camera is different in its sensitivity to light.
Why don't you do it on your phone? Why don't you pull up the shit on your phone?
Because then I'm looking at my phone.
Well, you can. That's the whole thing. Some people have a script, like Anchors on.
Yeah, it's usually on one of my 4 monitors. I'm glad I can't use one of my monitors.
It really is a funny sight if you see it from my angle. It really is like.
I have 4 monitors, and I'm going to pull the things up on my phone. I have dark mode on my phone. See,
Yeah.
people, we're living in hell. That's what I said on Facebook today. I said, tonight on Jacob V Weekly, hell.
It is. It sucks. I don't know.
Fuck!
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just fucking fed up. I'm up to my ears in it, right? And look at this ear. I'm up to that ear right there. In the garbage. I don't even need a vacation. I just need a vacation from the bullshit. I'll go to work. I'll do my job. Can I just get a break from the fucking, I mean, what's the percentage? How much harder is life now than it was before COVID?
I just want it to be harder for people to like call people out for working for a corporation. Like it should be really hard to like cancel an employee, like get an employee fired. Like you'd have to do some like pretty fucked up shit.
Well, I think they're surmising that they are doing the fucked up shit. I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Like if somebody's really rude to you at the restaurant and you want to be like, listen, I don't have to deal with this. Like, it should be harder to get them in trouble. And you usually don't get them in trouble, but like, I should be groomed as an employee to still work on it, keeping the customer happy, but also not putting up with bullshit. Like they should have just as much of a job to train us to do our jobs as they should to train us to deal with ridiculous people, because people are pretty shitty in this world.
It's really hard. So great. We solved that one. Great. We're 30 minutes in and I feel like we're just getting started.
I think it's going great.
No, great. That's why that's why you and me, I love you so much. I'm so happy to see you. How was your birthday?
This is going to be horrible. I thought you were about to roast me or something.
No, how was your birthday?
Oh, it was really good. I kind of just met up with my family. I went to work because I'm an American and I go to work on my birthday. I prioritize going to work on my birthday.
Oh, you did go to work that day?
Yeah, I went to work on my birthday because that's what you do. You know, you go to work on your fucking birthday. And I went home and we had a really delicious pulled pork, with a vinegar sauce. And then we had like a really nice, it was like a fettuccine. But we kept the noodles and the fettuccine separate, so you kind of put on your sauce by yourself.
Oh, you could self-sauce?
Yeah, it's just kind of a self-saucing
service.
It's
a self-sauce service?
Yeah, and then we had like these really nice like bakery buns. It was really, really good. We had a couple of sauce
Would you call it a brioche?
It was a brioche, but it was from the bakery, so it was fresh. So it was brie fresh. And it was like, and we had a couple of barbecue sauces, but the vinegar one was the hit. It was really
What inspired that menu?
Well, I had been to a wedding 2 years earlier, Jacob v. The Wedding, I think it was titled. And you had a really nice pulled pork with a really good vinegar sauce. And then you also had a fettuccine with the noodles separate. And
Yeah,
then a
he said, do you want to do
sauce.
like a salad and a pasta, or do you want to do a potato and a salad? I said, can we do a potato and a pasta? And that was the clutch.
Yeah, and then but it was the way the
I
pulled
think
pork,
fettuccine and pulled pork, they go together like
they do.
fettuccine and pulled pork, daddy.
Yeah.
Do a pulled pork fettuccine, daddy.
Always on accident when they start swimming around each other is so good.
Do you ever see the movie Toys with Robin Williams?
No.
LL Cool J is in it, and he plays the career military stepson of this toy guy, or maybe I guess it wouldn't be his half son. He's black though, and the dad's white, so there's some kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But the LL Cool J at one point he's eating lunch and he says, I don't like my food to touch on my plate. I'm a military man. I want a military meal. So I think about that whenever I mix things together, and I'm like but like Thanksgiving, it's got to be layers. There's too many dishes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned the anti-CRT parents. I'm also tired of talking about that because it won't stop. But just to mention, here locally at least, we have groups of parents that are bombing.
Get out on the phone. Get out on the phone.
Yeah.
Get out on the FaceTime.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him.
It's too early for Alfred.
Ugh.
They're just bombarding school boards about anti-critical race theory. They want critical race theory specifically to be banned, and somehow it's been convoluted with the same people that are anti-mask or anti-vax even. They want their kids to go to school in person.
How do we know
full-time.
that's true, though?
No, that's the thing. They're not related. But
But how do we know that's true, that it's the same people?
Oh, that's just been. I've watched countless videos and TikToks from these board meetings. A lot of them here in the St. Louis area, in the suburbs, of these parent things. Just because I'm on teacher TikTok, and so I get that kind of stuff, and it's just a nightmare. You know, my ninth grade geometry teacher visited me today at the store, and we just talked about, I'm doing this right now just because they closed most of the campus I was working at. They're not even going to have my position there this coming year, and I don't want to start over with a school district in COVID right now. It just got that much harder. It's just crazy. And he's retired, and he gets it.
Ugh.
And it's just I don't know. It's a bummer for everybody. I mean, because now mask mandates are coming back. I mean, who knows what the school year is going to look like? I'm sure it'll be in person because people have made it very clear they don't want their own children in their homes. But it's going to suck, especially if there's any quarantining happening at all. Disney just announced today that people that work in any of their facilities have to be vaccinated. I just saw that on Twitter this morning. So that's going to be a divisive measure. I'm vaccinated because I want to be able to go out to dinner with my wife. Yeah. That's my favorite part of being vaccinated.
I don't have a problem with the companies.
Into the microphone.
I don't have a problem with corporations requiring vaccines because, it's kind of like, joining a cult. That's just what you get. And you also have to get your Hep A and Hep B anyway. So it's not, I mean, if they were going to poison you, I would start with the Hep A and Hep B shit if I was going to fucking
poison all the
up.
poor people with the Hep A, because rich people don't need the Hep A vaccine.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to work in a pizza kitchen.
Yeah, and so they're going to require it, but but also if it doesn't require it, if the corporation doesn't require it, you have a choice. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you have to. Make us controversial. Get us on Fox News.
That's the big plug for patrons. We're going to take on all the most challenging issues in order to get pushed off every platform other than Patreon.
They won't push us off.
No, we're not big
listen
enough.
to us.
That would be a real boost for us.
Yeah, if they fucking got halfway through our fucking podcast.
That'd be, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Grandma.
Great.
I hope you're not listening. One of my grandmas, I was talking to her on the phone. She was like, "You guys have a radio show?" And I said, "Kinda, but it's really hard to get to. I don't think Yeah, you really don't want to hear it. It's mostly just therapy for my friend.
Great. She'd probably love that.
We're kind of just throwing it into the void. Oh, that's really good. That he has like at Max Local Eats, he has like a.
Oh, are you on is he blowing it up?
Well, he has like a pimento cheese burger. With
That's you're not on the right side of the issue here.
It's really looks pretty tasty, and the slaw on this other one is like an apple.
Yikes!
Slaw, like
an apple slaw.
Yeah, it's like a creamy apple kind of slaw, like an apple cider vinegar slaw. You know who else has a really good one? Is that one cidery down on
cidery?
Yeah, it's a cidery down on the what is it, 25th Street or something?
I'm not calling it a cidery.
It's like a cidery. It's like a cidery.
It's a brewery that makes a cider.
Brewery that makes a cider, or they brew ciders, and they
are they cider exclusive? I'm diabetic. I cannot be filling up on cider.
It's cider exclusive, but you can also get Citywide, which is a great canned
Citywide
IPA.
Is the beer that always got me kicked out of the duck room.
Dude, that's a crazy beer because you think it's like it looks just like a lager.
It looks like a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and so I drink it like it's a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, and
but it's fucking 6 ABV.
Yeah,
and it's got fucking barley mold spores and shit to get in my brain, and they tell my Irish DNA to go buck wild, and I end up taking my shirt off at Matthew's Sweet, and pole dancing on a stop sign in front of Sunshine Gingery.
Yeah, it's like dude, it's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, it's like a citrusy IPA, but it looks like a fucking.
But it comes in a drinkable can with a wide mouth pour, daddy.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird. And but they have that cidery down on like I don't know, like 2nd Avenue or whatever. It's one street. Well, it's a street that looks like really.
It's
like got the dueling piano bar. You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about in St. Charles?
No. It's downtown. It's kind of near near City Hall and the library and whatever.
City Hall.
And the law building. It's by the Arch, and it's that one street that like kind of is done up. It's very photogenic.
Washington?
Yeah, Washington. And then it's like
There's
cidery.
a cidery on Washington?
Yeah, it's really cool. And,
I wonder if it's in the old Dubliner space. Is it a big space?
It's a big. No, it's a garage. And they open it up like a garage. You can bring your dogs in, so it's like an inside-outside.
It's a dog cidery.
Yeah, and they have you can get like a buffalo chicken grilled cheese, and then the sides they have like the apple sauce. It's like a slaw. It's like a slaw with apples, and it's so fucking good. It's low key. It's like really low key because you see it on the menu, you're like, fine, I'll try that, and then it's really good. They don't even give a shit. I think the bartender also makes the food. It's really crazy.
No, you know what? Foley's. In Maplewood, that's how it is. The bartender has to make your food.
That is so weird.
I love it.
Foley's.
I'd love to get your opinion on this as a vaguely
homosexual.
Yeah, as a gay man.
Vaguely homo.
There's some controversy I read about in Chicago where Chicago public schools are going to make prophylactics available to their students 5th grade and up.
Prophylactics.
Condoms, Joe.
Phalanges.
Prophalanges.
Yeah, I say I'm super for that, man. There were all kinds of kids fucking in 5th grade.
So talk to me about how that might be controversial.
I was a 5th grader once, and there was a scandal. Somebody fucking in the 6th grade, which I remember vividly. Got in a lot of trouble for that too.
In the mic.
Because I couldn't stop fucking talking about it. I was like, what? I was like, dude, it's crazy.
That's better.
And no, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that is weird. I think it's so weird that these teachers, like, because we were talking the other day, and I was like, it is kind of the parents' choice because they kind of pay for the fucking school. And then you immediately are like, your immediate reaction, involuntary. You were like, yeah, well, they're not fucking smart enough to fucking teach them themselves, and that's the kind of attitude.
They don't want to. They've made it very clear.
Oh, absolutely.
That they don't want to teach their own children those things. And so that's part of it. Also, this is in my own experience locally. I've never really explored Chicago enough. I would assume it's similar. But the fucking people that are at the fucking school board complaining about condom availability in the year 2021, they are not the people that are paying enough property tax to actually make a drop in the bucket.
That's so dumb.
Typically, people that pay the most in property tax also have the money, so they don't send their kids to public school in Chicago. So this is my problem with where I started my career, was a lot of people who weren't actually spending all of that money on property tax. A lot of them were renting, meaning they were spending no money on that property tax that went to the school themselves.
Weird.
And they were very opinionated about the policies of the school, and they would love to talk about, I pay your salary, when really those individuals were not.
That is funny.
So I fucking hate groups of parents. I'll say that.
I hate groups.
Groups maybe is what I meant.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. The politics of those situations get really hard. A new policy by Chicago Public Schools to provide free condoms to all students in grades 5th grade and above has ignited a debate about children, sex education, and the role of schools. This is from the Hood Ratchet TV on Instagram.
Hood Ratchet.
That's where I get all my news. It's there first, brother. It's like TMZ was 10 years ago. The Chicago Public School Boards of Education passed the plan in December, requiring all schools that teach 5th grade and up to maintain a condom availability program. Condoms are provided at no cost by the Chicago Department of Public Health. So the schools aren't even paying for the condoms.
So weird.
This is the public health.
Yeah.
This is like the department that you would think we wouldn't actually need for anything. And so that means it's not a pregnancy issue either. That means they're trying to stop the spread of syphilis and gonorrhea.
You know what would be really funny is I would love to
Look, here, listen to this. In an ongoing effort to mitigate the spread of STDs, including HIV and unintended pregnancy, unexpected pregnancy, though, is not usually the public health concern as much as the STDs. So that's a real problem. This means that all but about a dozen of the city's 600 schools will have condoms on hand. Those 12 or so schools only teach younger grades, the ones that are left out. Essentially, what we want to do is make condoms available to students for if and when they think they need them. When you don't have those protections and don't make those resources available, bad stuff happens to young people. Blah, blah, blah. So that mentions that there is some debate, but I was hoping you would disagree with it so that we could have that side of the argument.
You know what it is, man, is fucking, you know what this fucking is? It's fucking eugenics. And they're going after little dumb kids. They want to make sure dumb kids don't have fucking kids. And they just want to fucking disenfranchise dumb people. That's what it fucking is.
You mean poor people?
Why would I say yes to that? No, I did not mean poor people. I meant dumb people.
I don't think dumb people are going to participate in a condom availability program.
I hope
really dumb people canceled. Are really bad at Can you not get me canceled with you? We didn't agree to this ahead of time, so don't just shoot from the hip. There come one of the cats.
The hip dick.
Which cat is that?
It's
Is it the fat one?
It's Hans.
Oh, he's going to ruin the show. Just wait. Watch your drink.
No, he's going to roof you.
He'll fucking Bill Cosby the shit out of you.
Woo!
Patreon.com/JacobV.
Wait, are you ending the show?
No.
Oh, thank God. I have so much more to say on this. No, I fucking... Well, I
about the condoms?
If you really get down to the health issue, technically, it is the right age to start it. Because if you really want to, once you start the conversation, if you were to ask any of these fucking parents to take over that administrative decision, they would probably end up at the same conclusion. Because if you really want to get it before it's... Because middle school... People are fucking in middle school. I don't give a shit what you say. Well,
and that's the thing. It's not that we want to condone any sort of underage sexual activity.
That's the whole thing.
But you need to have those safety measures in place. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but there's a catch-22 with the presence of a condom.
Can you imagine being a 14-year-old girl and finding out that you got a disease that you had never even heard of before, and then you have to, and then what if that leaks? I mean, what if that information gets out there? If one kid tells another kid that happened, I mean, that would be devastating.
Kids are pieces of shit.
I mean, I don't think prophylactic availability is going to influence any dangerous behavior. I think it's going to provide the opportunity for safety to be in place for behavior that's already going to be happening.
You can't stop it. You're kind of just like, imagine it more like
what do we do
throwing
about
condoms into a pit, you know?
It's like, what do we do with the, like, I had very rigorous and detailed sex education from 5th grade on up throughout my public school experience.
I did not.
It was really valued there and sort of effective, I thought. I thought it was, I mean, I never, had any issues.
I thought the whole thing was just horrible sounding. You know.
The education part?
No, just sex in general. I was just like, you what? You're sick. You're making that up. You're sick. That's what I thought. I never understood. It's crazy.
This reminds me of a segment we got to do for Patreon about NuvaRing. We're not doing that here, but I have been collecting data on this debate. Go to patreon.com/JacobV for unreleased content
on NuvaRing.
And coming soon, a discussion of the NuvaRing.
The NuvaRing.
Patreon.com/JacobV. Speaking of the NuvaRing, red tide is plaguing parts of the coastal United States. There are like sharks swimming in weird places because of this toxic algae bloom that kills millions of fish whenever it happens. Apparently, it has to do with the biodiversity amongst different sorts of plants and microorganisms, and when that's out of balance, the algae can bloom in a way that's super, super harmful to creatures who breathe air out of that water that's infected therein, and it forces sharks into all sorts of brackish water where they wouldn't normally be.
Sharks are smart as fuck, man.
That's what I'm saying. Apparently, Hawaii is crazy right now. I
heard about this.
I was hearing that like you can't. It's not only expensive to visit, but it's difficult. Restaurants there are taking reservations 5 months out and things like that. Where did you hear about this?
a lot of people were posting about it. They were like, "Don't go!" And I was like, "Whoa!" Did not know that was happening. They say there are so many people on the island that the island is sinking because it can't stay afloat because there are too many people on the island.
How?
That's true. No, I'm reading it right here. It's
So why do you think so many people are in Hawaii? And does this have anything? Does this have anything to do with the employment crisis?
Well, I had two friends that went to Hawaii this year. There were like sales, like the tickets were really cheap, like a long time ago, and people would buy them for really far out. And then I think they
were so cheap.
Yeah, it all finally came to fruition, and
now we opened up enough where those people could fly there.
Yeah, because they did it to save the airlines.
They said, okay, give me $30 for a flight to Hawaii now in July of 2020. And then people were like, oh, fuck yeah, next summer we can go to Hawaii. And now it's overbooked. That makes perfect sense. Joe, you're a genius.
It's really, and it is sinking because too many people are on the islands.
Do you want to hear something funny I read on Indeed in a job description for a job I may be doing in the future?
You guys are going to love this.
Do you have comprehensive understanding of regional and urban slang, street talk, and common non-standard English expressions? Yeah. Are you looking to put your language skills to use while getting paid for your abilities and experience? Perhaps you are looking to provide a much-needed public service to your local community. We are seeking exceptional professionals who understand and speak non-standard English to assist law enforcement nationwide.
Oh my God, that is
now. I happen to have taught in the inner city for 10 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have because you're like, it's like you're talking about it like, you were like, I lived in Jamaica for 15 years.
I lived in a cave for 47 years.
47 years. I speak fluent.
I speak fluent cave. Thank God. I was like, please don't, whatever you're going to say. So this is a company that typically hires people to transcribe conversations between law enforcement suspects and witnesses across various languages. For example, English and Spanish. They are now expanding to include urban non-standard English.
Yeah, that's so fucking crazy.
You can put your own joke in there. That was hilarious enough that I not only applied for the job, but I thought we'd talk about it.
I just don't. You can't. Okay, so whoever they got, obviously, to make that email or that
Job posting, yeah,
was clearly trying to be sensitive. But actually, this brings up the whole topic of it. There is no standard English because, like it's kind of like it's just like getting a translator for anything. Because if somebody speaks Spanish, they don't speak English, but they speak a few words of English. It doesn't mean they speak. It doesn't mean they're, they don't have a language or they're unintelligent or something. It just means that they speak Spanish. And like, it's the same thing with the inner city. It's like people just speak a different language, and sometimes, yeah, it's hard to understand, but it's not improper English. It's just a different language.
I don't think they're saying that they want to go to war with people that speak improperly. They're just saying they want to lock those people up for crimes.
Yeah. Let's send it over to our experts.
Yeah, we'll send that one on up the ladder.
Department. I think what he's trying to say is, this is actually an old Shakespearean term that he uses here. Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking funny.
One thing that I've been hearing a lot about in terms of this employment crisis that we've talked about it, that we've been covering really heavy on the show. I think when older people refer to my generation's sense of entitlement, I think they are forgetting that they told us our whole lives that we could be whatever we want. And they also supported this system that's created this flagrant disproportion of wealth.
Flagrant.
And so you know what I don't want to be when I grow up, everybody? I don't want to be a fucking wage slave cuck. How about that? How about I don't want to be, if I could be whatever I want, maybe you thought that meant some of us would be astronauts and one of us would be president. I just don't want to be a fucking wage slave.
Dude, it's fucking real out there. It is, man.
Somebody has to cook and serve the food. Everybody wants to own a fucking McDonald's or a Taco Bell, but nobody wants to work in one. And we have to listen to those people. Isn't it crazy? All the time, people are like, buy this franchise, open this business, we'll give you a business loan.
Yeah.
But no one's really telling people exactly how to solve their own employment crisis.
I have a comment on that.
Please, that's why you're fucking here.
That I have a comment, and there's a great organization / company goes by the name of Chick-fil-A, and I'll tell you what, man, it's a.
I'm looking for a knife.
I'm just kidding. It's not. I didn't want to.
But what does Chick-fil-A pay though?
Well, no, it's not the money. I think what it is creating a environment with dignity. I think there's something about the kitchen that is there's no dignity in it. I don't understand what happened. They make you wear the funny fucking shirts and the visors and shit. Like, I don't understand what happened. Like, why do they have to there's something humiliating about the environment. And you're kind of like this, like, goofball, it's like, hey, what's going on? I don't understand why they strive for that. And I think Starbucks kind of started to go that direction. And McDonald's did too. They kind of started to rebrand McDonald's as kind of like, oh, it's the smooth jazz kind of coffee place. It's like, oh, McDonald's, how about yeah, It's almost like they sell burgers on accident, and like.
But what do we do? It's because of the drive-through thing. I mean, Starbucks started adding food and coming for them for the breakfast business, and then McDonald's had to adapt.
Yeah.
But what do we? I think part of Chick-fil-A's thing is they are very selective about their franchises, and they don't just open one because somebody wants to.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm trying to solve the problem for restaurants that there are more of.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, I was just using them as an example because I feel like they create kind of a dignity in their environment. They kind of give the uniform, I feel like they give them, especially the jackets they have when they wear outside, I feel like they give them a really good quality uniform. And I feel like they staff correctly in a way that allows them to do their job comfortably. And I think that's it's not necessarily the wage as much as it is creating an environment with dignity for your workers. And that's what I feel like is the big problem with fast food, is that it's not necessarily the job. It's that when you're there, you feel like you're just dirt, and you're being run down by these evil fucking people.
What people?
The people in the drive-thru, they're fucking evil.
But wouldn't they be more positive if they were having a more positive experience?
That's not. I think both sides need to change. It's a marriage. It's that everybody has a responsibility. People who are customers have a responsibility to be kind. They have a responsibility to because, or else they're going to lose that employee. Yes, the customer is going to lose that employee for that company, and maybe they're more necessary than they think to the company than they think. And I think we have a responsibility to be kind towards people. In my opinion. It doesn't sound very American, but it's true.
What do you mean it doesn't sound very American? What do you mean?
In America, we love to glorify being a piece of shit sometimes. Like Iron Man, I think, is my favorite example. That guy was such a piece of shit to everybody on the Avengers, and everybody glorifies that. They're like, yeah, he's an asshole. That's the point. He's the leader of the Avengers. I'm like, no, that's not good. You need to be nice to people. We need to teach people to be kind to people. That's how you create a community.
Now, why do you think people aren't nice? Because don't you think people try to teach their kids that?
People aren't nice because they sometimes learn to be too assertive. They learn to be, they have
at some point they get rewarded because other people want to avoid confrontation.
Yeah. And so they're like, I'm going to be the tough girl, and they're like, it's like, that's what people like about me. I get the job done. And they go up and they ruin this guy's day, and they're like, they just demean they belittle and they demean the fuck out of somebody. And then they go back to their chair and they, people get they get applauded, and it's like, what you do is you create this kind of divisiveness in your community, because you have to remember that if it's your local Chick-fil-A, your local McDonald's, that's part of your community. Those employees are part of your community, and we don't act like that. We act like we act like we're at war with ourselves, and we're not. So my whole thing is, I think creating a workplace with dignity is really important. And I think it can start with the uniform. I think the uniform, I always thought that the Chick-fil-A kitchen was so clean, and you walk into it and it's kind of more out in the open than some of the other places. And I don't know, they make it a point for their managers to kind of smile and be a representation of the organization. I think that's so important. I just think there's something really wrong with how we treat service, the service industry people these days, and anybody with any job that, you're in direct contact with in the sale. The person you're trying to get the sale through, we tend to be kind of rude to, and I don't understand what all these other people do, because there aren't a ton of jobs out there. I don't understand what all these customers do that allows them to go out and spend an immense amount of money on Saturdays and Sundays.
Credit card debt, baby! I mean, that's got to be a huge part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and money is so cheap right now. And also, some people, that's their only hobby. Some people only work and eat and watch TV.
Yeah.
What did I miss? Were you glorifying Chick-fil-A again?
I just think that I just think that they have totally conquered, a lot of problems as a fast food business that a lot of people can't conquer.
Oh, the good camera's back.
Oh, that Gucci camera.
That Gucci camera, Daddy.
Yeah. I'm upset about it. I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, you're dreading
baseball teams. There was this one baseball team that fucking fucked up my day, and I just can't shake it. I took off a couple weeks of work, honestly.
And this is back to the problem with the huge groups of people that show up unannounced.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
They just act so entitled. They get in there and they're like, why can't this happen? Why can't we feed 30 people in 45 minutes? Why can't I
just walk in and have 30 people all order the buffalo chicken wrap all at once, and why can't it be perfect?
Yeah, I just don't. And it's just this, they're so fucking dumb and confused. I just don't understand. I am so mindful And I was always mindful. It was never because of the industry. I remember before I worked at restaurants, I was always mindful. You know, but anyway.
Yeah. And here's another thing. Why are we fetishizing the founding fathers still?
I know. I agree.
Why are we fetishizing any group of anybody from 300 years ago?
I agree.
I mean, would we trust doctors from 300 years ago?
That's a good point.
I mean, you don't hear doctors saying, we need to go back to the values that were in place in medicine in 1776. Right?
Right. I agree.
I mean, let's talk about those guys for a second. Imagine choosing to leave your home country to go live somewhere else. Now, imagine you're going to take a boat for 7 months to do so. Or imagine being so confident that you divorce your ruling authority and write your own government. Just write it down and announce it and then defend it.
It's so funny.
You and your buddies just going to wing it.
Yeah.
Hey, what if we get Hancock down here and get that pudgy guy that takes all the baths. What's his name?
Yeah.
Franklin. Get him in here. And
I actually want to be on the news train. I want to be on a citizen at the time and being they're announcing the new government today. Guys,
right.
Everybody get in there. They're announcing they're doing the government thing. All right, here's the new government. They have a piece of paper. Here's the new government. All right, first
and there were the loyalists and the patriots. There were people that definitely wanted to stay the way it was. But their military didn't live here.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't know what
it's sort of a religion, isn't it? It's sort of a faith system. It's like this: the people that are single issue voters on an issue that is sensitive to their personal faith. It's like that for this constitutional kind of movement. I think I love the Constitution. It's a good idea to have that.
I think once you start changing shit, everything falls off the rails.
So, but that's the other thing, though, is, in the Constitution, there are really clear mechanisms of change.
Yeah.
And we update those all the time. We also act like all this shit is 1,000 years old when, wasn't the Pledge of Allegiance not even written until 1940 or something? Didn't I read that on TikTok the other day?
Yeah, all right, I'm looking it up.
When was the Pledge of Allegiance written?
Of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
And America. I noticed this the other day. I was playing hooky. It was Horse Hooky Tuesday with my mother. Sometimes in the summer we'll go to the horse races in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. And
1942.
When they did the national anthem, it was sort of unannounced, but everyone dropped dead silent and jumped out of their seats and was super huge, massive crowd of people dead silent.
I do love, if you go out to St. Charles, or you go out to Eureka or something, they do the Pledge of Allegiance, or they do the, and now everybody's super fucking into the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. And so whenever everybody stands, it's a really big deal. And I just when people are hating on it, I also want to disagree with them. But when people are super into it, I immediately want to go okay, chill the fuck out. Okay, I'm okay, take it easy. I love my friends, my friends who fucking hate religion, and they're super. They're no, I don't fucking church. And then when the 4th of July comes around, they're all I just want to take a minute to talk about the fucking military, man. And just I think we all just they worship the military. The boomers taught them to worship the military. I just want to talk about these boys, who are over there overseas. And then somebody in the crowd's and women. They're these boys. I have friends like that. They don't really give a shit about Catholicism, but they're really into
the military.
Yeah, they're really into military holidays, or holidays that recognize a war or something.
Veterans Day,
Thanksgiving. Christmas.
When we had Caroline on, I mentioned, I haven't been drinking since COVID started, and I said, for the troops.
Yeah, and that's a real fucking thing. The troops, but I just don't get it. I'm just like,
well, and I've been
met
talking to
them. They're
Alfred
not
about
great.
this. If you missed our big launch party for patreon.com/JacobV last week at the Heavy Anchor Friday night, I played with the illustrious Alfred Ludwig on the bass. And we were talking about how, for example, he was an adult when 9/11 happened, I think.
That's crazy.
And so in the aftermath, he was, had opinions about the political issues. And a lot of it was this sort of like McCarthyism thing of this, we can't criticize anything about the war effort or it's un-American. Right? If you're not for us, you're against us type of thing. And I'm glad we shot Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, well, my brother's in the military, and it makes me think about this a lot. And it's like, my dad, I was starting the military. I was like, maybe I should do that. And he's like, you couldn't do it. And I said, why? And he goes like, because you couldn't take it seriously. And it reminded me of just like how, like when you go to like boot camp and shit, like first of all, it's really easy to get kicked out of boot camp. I've learned from my brother. Like people were getting like kicked out really like if you like cut, like how they make you like run these crazy obstacle courses, and if they figure out that you like cheated somehow, you're done. Like you're just done, and you can't ever like reapply or anything. It sucks. But so you went to boot camp, and the whole idea is that it's a totally honest cult, and like what they have to do is you have to play the game. So when they're screaming at you, you have to like, if you're laughing or something, they're going to like break you down because they have to break you down as a person and rebuild you as a soldier. And if you think about the context of that, the reason they have to do that is because you can't do it for anybody else but the country. Because if you, like, let's say you became a soldier just to like overthrow something, you can't even do that because if they don't break that side of you, when they give that piece of land that all your buddies died fighting for back to the enemy, you can't like fucking lose your mind. So they have to actually, the government has to own you so the politicians can do whatever they want with you. And if they don't operate like that, then the whole thing is chaotic. So there's no like mission as a soldier. There is just that you are completely and wholly loyal to the U.S. government, because that's the only way they can justify making you do totally crazy, ridiculous fucking shit. Because the moment you start to think about it, that's when they lose you as a soldier. Because it's totally fucked up. Like because you're going to lose your friends trying to do something, and then they're just going to give it back to them because it's pointless. Because it's politicians, they have no idea what the fuck is going on. So like when you're in the military, you kind of have to play this game, and that's something that I've learned from watching my brother go through it. It's just like the whole thing is it's a cult because it's the only way it can operate.
I think that's just as good of a note as any. Let's dig deeper into that, guys. It's rough out there. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of each other. Go to patreon.com/JacobV to take care of us. For the love of God, please.
Fucking money, Jesus.
Just $1. And I'm gonna, every time you give me $1, I'm gonna give you some never before released high-end content, brother. We got the rest of the year planned out as far as content goes. It's gonna be absolutely wild. Patreon.com/JacobV. Follow us wherever you get your podcast. The podcast is staying free. It's staying open. All the new cool shit is going behind the patreon.com/JacobV. Come find us there. Try it out for any amount of time. We did it. We gotta keep doing it because the government is gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
It's been playing, Jesus.